Alright, here's my review of the movie Posession. This is my first one for my new segment, 80s horror movies. Okay. A lot of people don't think this is a horror movie. Maybe psychological drama or thriller. It's a horror movie with a psychological aspect, you know, whatever. Or a psychological aspect with a horror theme. There's horror elements in this. Okay, so this is I want to say his name right, Andrzej Zawowski. I think that's how you say it in Polish, in English, but I don't know. Anyway, this stars Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, pre-Jurassic Park. You got Isabelle Adjani. The movie's just weird. It's like if David Lynch smoked crack and coke and then took a couple beers and some wine, mixed it together, did some freebasing, and then made this movie. That's a huge statement because David Lynch already makes weird movies, if you didn't know that. But David Lynch didn't do this. That was just an analogy, people. Okay, the movie starts off normal and then goes on a whole nother... I don't even know. But it is beautifully shot, beautifully directed. The acting's fine. It's in English, which is good, but I think it's ADR, so all the additional dialogue recording, which means the dialogue was recorded later, over it. Almost like dubbed over its own English. So it kind of comes with some kinds of over-the-top, the acting. But I think it's on purpose. I'm not sure about this. Alright, bottom line, I give it 4 beards out of 5. If I wasn't into cinema, into the art form, and appreciate and studied all this stuff, and I was just your casual movie person that like rented a movie, probably get 0, maybe 2. But if you're like me and you're into the art form, you'll probably agree. Or you won't. But it's a love it or hate it movie. There's no middle ground like, oh, I liked it. It's either I love it, I get it, or what the hell did I just say? I'm in the middle, but more towards the top of that. Like, I loved it, but what the hell did I just say? And I love interpretations of this movie. And there's a lot, I think, on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, people's own interpretations of what was going on. But check it out. I do recommend it. I give it 4 beards. It's a movie I think you should see at least once before you die. Totally agree with that. What else can I tell you about this movie? Oh, a little thing about this film. I got to reach over for a second. Okay, this. Posession. This is Japanese. Alright? The movie's not Japanese, for those who have no idea what this movie is. This is an English movie that has never been released on DVD. Oop. I think it was released on DVD, but it's out of print. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't use notes. I try to go off memory most of the time. But here's a little tip. If you want to get a movie that's out of print, buy it in Japan, or get it from Japan, or on the internet, eBay, whatever. And just make sure it's an all-region DVD. This means it can play on your DVD here in America. It's because it's all-region, so it plays on any DVD player. The thing also to look for is make sure you can turn the subtitles off. That's amazing, because the movie's already made. It's in English. So if you're watching it, it's in Japanese. The titles, you take the subtitles off, you have the same copy as you would have got in English anyway when it came out originally. So that goes for any of these obscure movies, whether they're horror, comedy, wherever. See if you can get movies overseas legally, because this is not a bootleg like some people are selling. This is a real DVD, you know, made. And you just turn the subtitles off, and you've got the same movie you would have bought anyway. Who cares that this is in Japanese? It's kind of cool, actually. So this little tip: you want to get movies, check overseas first. If they're not available here in the States or anywhere else, and just see if you can take subtitles off. You can take the subtitles off and make them the way they were originally shot in English. Then you're fine for your collection. Just a little tip there from CinemaDan. Okay, so that was my review, my first review for 80s horror movies. Oh, make sure you get the uncut one too. That's huge, because there's I think a 90-minute version of this movie, or an 88. For those who hate the movie, they probably would appreciate that. For those who are going to love it or want to see every shot, get the longer one. I think it's almost 2 hours, I forget. But yeah, Posession, thumbs up, 4 beards. Check it out. I hope you like the 80s horror movie review, where I'm going to go with this. And I hope it was an obscure movie, or a movie that, you know, something that you didn't see. That would be obscure, right? Or you knew about but didn't see it. That would just make it a movie you didn't see. So I hope it's obscure. Maybe you never heard of it. So anyway, I'm going on a good angle here with 80s horror movies and not mentioning all the regular ones, which I probably will add to the stuff if I bring up that's obscure also. Again, no notes, not editing. I'm CinemaDan. Trust the beard. Don't take my word for it. Take yours. See you next time.